It's gonna let me do it. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, friends. Hold on, friends. Oh my goodness.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey there.
Hello. Trying to get situated here.
No
Hey guys.
worries. Hi, hi, hi.
Yes. Hi, girl. This is so funny to me. Okay. Let me just tell you what we were trying to do.
Okay.
So we wanted to definitely try to record or go live with a portion of what we were talking about with you, Rebecca, in the email. However, I don't have my laptop because I'm in Oklahoma, and so I'm working with my.
Uh-oh. Nicole, you there?
So we just. Oh,
Hey, Nicole, you blacked out for a little bit.
Yeah.
okay. The funny. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can y'all? Can y'all hear
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Yes, you're good.
Hold on.
This is great.
Hold on. Hold on.
What?
Let's see if we can. Oh, that's actually.
Hey, Rebecca, it looks like it's just you and I.
All right. Hey, is
I
it
know.
Anya?
I wonder if she's going to come back. I know she will. It's probably just poor reception there. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good. It's 2:00 my time. What, 2:30 my time?
Oh, that's right. You're Pacific time.
So I
Okay.
hurried up, ran home, and tried to get something to eat real quick, and was
Mm-hmm.
mid before I'm like, okay, it's this meeting. I'm gonna hold on to it. Because when
Uh-huh.
the meeting is over, I'm ready for it again. Nicole, you back?
Try to take maybe the Wi-Fi. Taking that off will help. Let's see.
Possibly.
There. Can y'all hear me and stuff?
We can hear
Yep.
you. Yeah, we can't see you though.
You can't see me?
Now we can.
Now we can see you.
Oh.
Here she is.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna be right back, y'all. Hold on.
Okay.
I hope that we're not casting because I was trying to play with it before y'all got on, and it's saying that we could go live on YouTube, which I think it is going live. Okay.
That's fine. We can always private it later. That's fine.
Yeah.
Is that fine? Because I'm not the techie person.
So. We can always private it later.
Well, welcome, Rebecca. Thank you for being with us in our madness.
You're welcome. I'm here.
But yeah, and I'm out of town right now, so I'm trying to maneuver my computer. My computer, of course, is not with me. But long story short, we're here and we're excited to be with you. You know me, and I don't know, Andre, you got a chance to introduce yourselves during my technical difficulties.
Not even really. Hi, I'm Anja.
Hi, Anja.
As you know, I'm from California. Very just Nicole and I, like, our mindsets for In Love with Love is just to remind folks. It's not even to remind folks, but it's to encourage people to be in love with love. I'm sure you already get the premise of what we got going on. Hi, I'm the other half from California.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
This is the conversation we want to have, because I don't know if you know this, Anja, but Rebecca is an amazing, accomplished woman of God herself. She has so many things going on. I'll let her kind of share to our audience. One of the things is she is actually a podcaster as well. So
I
she has
am.
a lot of things that she talks about, a lot of things on her mind. But we did want to jump into a conversation with you. So can you share a little bit of who you are and what's going on in your world?
Absolutely. Rebecca Rice here. I am in Huntsville, Alabama. And as Nicole mentioned, I am a podcaster. I am actually on my second podcast. My first one was with
Woohoo.
my best friend, and it was called Billionaire Besties. And it was everything pertaining to sisterhood, friendship, communication, friendship breakups, like all the things concerning friendship. And then a few years later, I launched my second podcast. It's called Great Chat. And on Great Chat, we're having conversations about all type of topics. And so we've talked about being new wife. I am a little over 2 years married to my
Congrats.
husband. And so we talked about being new wives. We talk about single journey. I met Nicole years ago when I was a single woman for a very long time. And so I talk a little bit about my journey of singleness, and the current episodes that are up for Great Chat are concerning motherhood. So if there are any moms out there that just need a little bit of encouragement, or even mothers in waiting, there are some episodes that are live for you as well. My podcast is streaming on all streaming networks, and we're preparing to launch season 2 in the fall. So that's something major that I am working on. I've always been an advocate for single women, always been an advocate for women, for relationships, for healthy love, for biblical and godly love. And so anything concerning the matters of the heart and biblical principles, that is what I'm called to do. So that's a little bit about me.
Beautiful.
Nice.
It sounds so in the vein because I say matters of the heart too. I have a section of matters of the heart on the blog. And Nicole is always like, as you say, matters of the heart. And I'm like, so when you said that,
So
that
we're
just made me
here.
laugh. I love it. That
Yeah.
sounds awesome.
And
Thank
I
you,
see
thank you.
too, even the funny thing, Andre, you can see how confirming the Lord is with us, because when we were talking, Andre and I were talking about the topic. So the topic for today is called optics, the optics, how things look, right? And we're just doing a spin on that, about friendship, relationships, ministry, all things, how the optics look. And I think Andre can maybe walk us into how we got about to this topic, but I'm just amazed because God really put you on our heart to, before you even shared, before I knew that you talked about friendship, but it just confirmed when you shared in that moment, like why he chose you to help us like jump into this conversation even more about the optics.
I love that. And I want to apologize for my optics today.
Or five.
As I'm a gym girly now. So I was just getting home from the gym, but
I love
it's
it.
not about me and what I look like. Like this is, to the glory of God and to help somebody. So I'm down for the conversation, y'all.
It's perfect because
Awesome.
we're all about the authenticity. And so you're right at home.
Complete authenticity, transparency, like all of those kind of things, as we actually said, both matters of the heart, because those are the things that are going to change and transform people. I believe that in this world, we have so much fluff right now. I mean, we've always had fluff, but now it's too much fluff because people care way more about appearances than they do about
matters of the
It matters of the heart. Even what God says, we care way too much about the opinion of other people, and that is going to lead me into the next topic where Nicole and I have had a conversation. So we have this amazing, exciting event that we're putting on. I was about to say conference, but the word conference can't.
It's bigger than conference.
It can't hold it in. It's an event and it's an experience that we're getting ready to host. And as two single women believing God for supernatural marriage, believing God for our partners, his way, not ours, because that's a whole big ball game. Anybody can go out there and get somebody, but we want perfect will, not permissive will.
Right.
We want perfect will and not permissive will. So that comes with a lot of dying of self. When you choose when you choose perfect will, a lot of dying of self. So with that, the optics of it all have come up quite a bit, because in the world sector, oh my God, you're single. You guys look like you're having a great time. Woo! But in the Christ focus or the kingdom world, should we say, how dare you look like you're having a good time? You should be ladies in waiting, and I'm not even
Mhm.
sure what that technically looks like these days, but you should be ladies in waiting looking like you're waiting for the man of God.
Mhm.
So when Nicole and I had conversations over a year ago, because we've been friends for a couple of years now, very close friends. She's my sister. We've had conversations about the season and time of waiting, but God had prompted the both of us on what to do during the wait.
Mm.
Do
Mhm.
not look like you out there just looking like whatever. Because
Mhm.
although marriage is a part of our mandate for him, it's a part of our mandate for him. We still have purpose.
Mhm.
And our first purpose is to promote him,
Right.
to promote the kingdom.
Mhm.
So a lot of people
But
have
can I
come up
interject?
and they're
Because
like, uh-huh.
Andrea, because this is the important part, and you may be getting to it, but what resonates for me is we always say two things can be true.
Yes.
We can be having a great time in the Lord, and we can be quote unquote single and going out and experiencing life and still desire marriage. And people, it kind of blows their mind that two things can be true.
Mhm.
Yeah. Two things can be true. Like, how are you going to attract somebody if you looking downtrodden? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, if you're just looking like you waiting and
Yes.
downtrodden, that's not attractive to anybody.
Yeah, I think this whole concept of lady in waiting, I think it was a way to um, really minimize our part in, our journey to marriage. And I've been I've been actually telling my sisters, my Facebook sisters, like, girl, get outside, go do something with yourself, because at the end of the day, I believe that how we look matters, right? And the things that we enjoy, those things matter because even in marriage, you need some hobbies, you need something to do. You don't want your whole entire universe to revolve around your spouse and you have no identity, right, as a woman of God. And so I used to get complimented a lot about living a
Thank
balanced
you.
life because I would go outside. Like I would get cute, hang out with my friends. I would travel. Like I would just, having a good time while still also waiting on, marriage. And so what I had to learn over the years is like waiting is not a passive stance that we take of like, okay, I'm waiting on God. You still live in the process. You still follow your purpose in the process. You still, build sisterhood in the process. You build relationship with the opposite sex with your brothers because we need those too. And so I would hope that a lot of women in 2024 moving forward that we would not take as a lady in waiting as somebody literally sitting around twiddling their thumbs, waiting for, God to drop this man off at your doorstep, because that's not how things work. And then also a lady in waiting doesn't always mean that you're going to find your man at church. Like you may find him at the park somewhere. You might find him at Starbucks, or he may find you whatever language you want to use.
Right.
But there is still like you mentioned, Anja, like our purpose is to give glory to God and to promote his agenda, right? And so imagine the stance that we would take as women of God, stopping everything until we get married. That is not God's will for us. That is not God's will, because his purposes continue after marriage. There's a lot of lingo that we've used over the years that I'm just not a big fan of anymore. Lady in waiting is one, courtship is one. I'm just like, but yeah, that's my take on that.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
I completely agree. Another thing with the optics is that you have friends and you have had a podcast with your best friend before before you were married. I don't know about her, but it's, before you were married. And so another thing is like, well, you guys are two friends together. I don't think it looked right. It don't look right. You guys look like a
Right.
couple.
And the side look is what I felt.
You guys look like a couple. Y'all look like a couple. So you say, I know you, but you say you waiting for a man, but you look like you having a couple over here and it's fun.
I'm gonna speak to two parts of that. I think as a society, like we do not understand or embrace like platonic love for one another. Like
Right.
we know that biblically there's 4 or 5 different types of love, and one of those is phileo love. So that's brotherhood, sisterhood love, right? And I believe that nowadays a lot of women are really going in depth in their friendship. Like, we've gotten past the social groups, we've gotten past the surface level, and we're really invested in like doing life with other women.
Right.
For people who don't understand that, the Bible even says that to the pure, all things are pure, right? So if someone with a pure heart is looking at your sisterhood, it's like, I don't see anything wrong with that. But if you're an impure person, you're going to be looking for something crazy to be going on, right? So yeah, we've gotten to depth in friendship.
And I think that people's journeys, right? Because you have to kind of like think for a second, because people have journeys, and many women have been betrayed by their mothers, by their sisters, by aunties, whoever. And so it's been such a journey to walk in healing and to see with fresh perspective that I could actually be in a deep Jonathan David relationship with a sister who has my back. I'm talking about just the other day. Listen, I was down, and when I talk about a down man, down, and I needed my sisters to come see about me. And they did. I mean, there's one thing to be sipping Mai Tais on the beach. There's one thing to be out here, you know, lallygagging and laughing. But it's another thing when someone can come see about you and clean your bathroom because you had an accident. I'm talking about real life. Come see about you. You know what I'm saying? And take you to your doctor's appointments. Like, that's the real. Can you be in the trenches with me?
That part.
And I love that, because my best friend is single. So, you know, we've been able to maintain our friendship and sisterhood even after I got married, to God be the glory. But like, she has been that. And I have multiple sisters that are that, when it's like, I'm literally like, somebody come sit with me in the hospital, somebody take me to my doctor's appointment, my husband may not be available, or just whatever the situation is. And so I think for a lot of us, like you said, Nicole, once we get past that trauma and we get to a place where we actually trust women again, the possibilities are really endless to the depth of friendship that you can go, and that it can still remain pure. Now, saying all that to say, on the other side, there may be women who, you know, struggle in their sexuality, and they may be trying to use sisterhood as a way to fill that void, right? And so that's where that transparency comes in, to say, you know, hey girl, you struggling? You know, is there something I don't know about that I need to know about? And there are situations like that. But generally speaking, I think that we are just maturing in a depth of friendship, and it may make some people uncomfortable, because some girls will say, you know, I want my friend tribe, but you just want to do social things. You don't want to pray together. You don't want to cry together. You don't want to share your struggles with anybody. Like, you just want this to be a cute little, you know, connection, which I think there are places for that. But in life, prior to marriage, after marriage, you need depth of friendship with your sisterhood, period. And so, yeah, I could go all day on that one, but
I think too, as I'm listening to this, I think too, it really is a shift within society, because I mean, you know, during times of war, during all of those kind of situations, and we know that living here in the United States, we have always had these things where men have appeared to be scarce, whether it was like real war on drugs, war on like just like real life stuff. Seriously, I mean, real stuff. So that there appeared to be a scarcity of men. So it's like, if you could get a man, or whatever the case may be, grab him and hold on to him. That's you know what I'm saying? That's it. Especially coming from, I'm guessing you're African American. Not sure, it doesn't even matter. But if you have family that has been here in the United States, we have not had certain privileges of being taken care of by men in our history. So if you got a man, girl, hold on tight. You know what I'm saying? Hold on tight, because there might be somebody else who wants to steal him or take him, kind of situation. So I see also too, like, I feel like God is trying to like just heal
a lot of competition and comparison.
A lot of competition and comparison. So I mean, like, there are a lot of real things that we're coming from. We would love for it to just be, you know, happiness and joy. But we know that the enemy perverts a lot of situations. There have been a lot of situations where multiple families, secret families, all of those kind of things, so that it's bred a lot of junk between women. But this is an opportunity for women of God to like really come and pull that curtain down and allow some healing in and be like, this is my homegirl, this is my friend. Like, I'm happy for her when blah, blah, blah.
And
She's
here's,
happy
can
for
I
me when
interject?
too. Mm-hmm.
I go back to, even as I said it, David and Jonathan, and those were men.
Mm-hmm.
In our society, that don't happen.
Yeah.
That's unheard of. But if you think about it, just in the lens of two women, it's the same thing. It was deep. They had a deep, rich, meaningful relationship. It wasn't just like, oh, come to the castle and just hang out. It was deeper. This man on the run, he's still, even his kids are, you know what I'm saying? He's gone. The kids are still here. Like, you know what I'm saying? How can I bless them? That's
Go get his
covenant.
kids.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
but somebody through the lens of today, perhaps, and even maybe back then, they would say, oh, that gay dude. You know, they gay, whatever. And I'm not bashing anybody, but I'm just saying immediately someone might jump to their
Inappropriate
relationship. And that was not the case.
You know, I would say, going back to Anya, and then I'll come back to you, Nicole, but I think we have been taught that we find our husbands in church, right? So if you are at your local church and there are like 3 single men at your church and there are like 30 single women at your church, you know, it's going to be a competition, right? Because you're looking at, well, only the men that I can see are the men that are an option for me. When the Bible says that, you know, it's not by what we see, right? And what we hope for is what we don't see. I think it's Hebrews 11. I can't quote it right. And so as women, like, we can't get so caught up on, well, I only know of 5 godly men, so there are only 5 godly men available. Do you know there are billions of people on this earth, and you are stressing out about the 3 men in your church that may or may not want you, right? And so I think we have to expand our horizons. And then I was having a conversation with my brother-in-law, who I consider a very, you know, eligible bachelor. And I was running down this concept to him that most Christian women have a general list of what they would want, right? They're like, okay, if you're a Black woman, okay, I want a Black man. I want him to be educated. I want him to have a decent job. I want him to be settled. I want him to love God, da, 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 da. 99% of Christian women have the same list. So if 99% have the same list and they're looking for, in general, the same type of man, every man you encounter is going to feel like, this is my husband, right? Because there's no depth to the list. It's just, I want A, B, C, D, and E. And I'm not concerned about, you know, his humor. I'm not concerned about how he's going to mature me and cause me to grow. I'm not going to write on my list that I want somebody that's going to help me heal from my trauma. You may not write that on your list, right? You're just looking for those top 4 or 5 things. And so I think as women, we have to be a little bit more discriminate on when it comes to the type of men that we even categorize as husbands, because every man is not categorized as a husband, right?
That's true.
Just like every woman is not categorized as a wife. Everybody doesn't want marriage, right? And so when we're talking about like finding or being found or optics and things like that, there has to be something deeper than he's a Christian and he's Black, right? There has to be something deeper than he has a good job and, you know, he has a nice family. Like, there has to be something deeper than that. And we also have to be open to the possibility that your husband may be around the world right now, and you may run into him at the airport, and you're just like, oh, what are the odds of me running into you at the airport? And now we're married 25 years, right? We have to be open to God writing different love stories for us. It's not always the same. We met in church, we fell in love, and happily ever after. But then to what you were talking about, Nicole, I think that goes back to what we mentioned earlier. Like, we have, our society like looks to see the negative in things. Like, we look to see something wrong with everything. Like, we just can't take it at face value as, you know, these people are just friends, or even the opposite sex. Like, I had I had many struggles with that. That's because true. I had a lot of platonic guy friends, right? And everybody wanted to pervert and say, "Ooh, girl, that's your husband. Y'all look good together. Y'all gonna be together." And it's like, no, these are my brothers. I don't want them like that, and they don't want me like that. Like, just let things be what they are instead of trying to pervert it into something that it's not.
Good.
Amen.
That's good. Well, we're going to kind of segue, as we're not going to keep you long, and we're not going to have a long video here, but we did want to kind of jump into, so that we can prepare the people for, because this is Rebecca and her man of God will be one of the couples that we are interviewing at our experience.
Woo!
So yay. And so we did want to kind of preview for the people. Tell us, walk us a little bit through maybe your single journey and just like lead us up to the edge. We want to keep them waiting.
On the edge of their seats.
Yeah.
So my single journey was definitely very long. It was definitely a process. So for
What was that when you
context,
say long?
what do you say?
When you say long, what was that?
Almost 10 years. Almost 10 years. And so for context, right about a year after I got saved, I got pregnant and I had my daughter. So after all of that, for about a year and a half, I was just like healing, just trying to like make sure my heart was clear before I moved forward. But I was really one of those girls who was overlooked by everybody because I was seen as like super deep and spiritual and oh, you're a wife. I mean, I'm not trying to do nothing serious right now. You're a wife, so whatever. So I was really overlooked a lot when it came to dating and relationships. Over time, I had a few situationships that fill the void for the moment. But God was really good in the sense like he didn't allow me to waste more than say 3 or 4 weeks on somebody. Like he would be like, no, girl, shut it down, move on to something else. So for me, it was a lot of missteps. It was a lot of ups and downs. I would have seasons where I was just content in God, doing my purpose, being obedient, just like preaching and doing all the things. And then sometimes I would have times where I just felt like God forgot about me. He was just like, girl, I ain't no husband for you. You pray for everybody else and get them married. I ain't got no husband for you. Like, that's what it felt like for me. That's what it felt like for me. But ultimately, right around 2016, I got a word to move from Atlanta to Huntsville, Alabama. And within a year or so, I met my current husband. So, so there's definitely some in between there, but from about 2008 to about 2019, I was single and not in a serious relationship.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Lot to navigate there.
I'm
excited because I know for sure. Now I haven't heard the story, so I'm excited and looking forward to it. But I know for sure your encounter and how you guys came together was supernatural. I know
absolutely.
that. So I'm excited to hear.
We can't wait to share with y'all, and I can't wait for you guys to meet him. He is a trip. He play all day. He's goofy. But when I say like God knew exactly who to partner me with, it pays. I'm telling y'all, it pays to wait.
Wow.
Like you said, Anja, it pays to wait for perfect will versus permissive will. Because if I wanted to just marry somebody, I could have just married somebody. But the wait was definitely worth it for sure. 100%. Highly suggest waiting for the right one.
I love that.
I love it. That was beautiful.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're not going to belabor the time.
Yes, I'm excited about this encounter in August. I know it's going to be a good time. I can't wait to meet the other couples and hear their wisdom and everything that they're going to pour out. And I'm just proud of y'all for everything that you're doing.
Thank you. We're so excited.
Is August 31st. We are so excited for the In Love Love experience.
If you have not gotten your ticket, please run to Eventbrite and get your ticket because you don't want to miss this experience.
Yeah, you really don't.
Great.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Just with the little snippet of the testimony that you shared, I know it's just going to be like it's going to be such an in love experience. So, and don't forget your beautiful, elegant clothes because we will be eating and like rocking at that.
Yes, get cute, y'all.
All right. So we're gonna see you a little later because we do have a little meeting later. But thanks again for just jumping on and really talking about the optics with us.
You're welcome.
And other things.
I hope that it helped somebody. And I guess I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.